What is going on, you guys? MissedThePart here, back again with another fan fiction. And before we get in today's video, I just want to shout out Red Hood Justice YT for requesting this fan fiction. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have fan fictions to request, I will shout you out if you guys are subscribed to the channel. So it's a win-win for everybody. And do make sure to subscribe to his channel and check him out. Now, before we start, make sure you read Superior Spider-Man issue 30 and 31, because those are the comic books that we're going to be doing this fan fiction on, because it was really requested. And anyways, let's get into this. What if events went differently? What if Superior Spider-Man didn't give Peter's body back in Superior Spider-Man issue 30? What would have changed? Find out in this fan fiction. Spider-Man would have left 2099 Spider-Man to fight the robots still, and events would be playing out near the same. Until this time, something would change. Otto knew Peter was winning the power struggle in his mind, and he knew if he was going to win, he had to do something about it. He had to fight the goblins and save Anna Maria. He would save the kid from the train from the goblins, and then he would re-enter the mindscape, telling Peter that he was going to save Anna Maria and that he was going to save the city from the goblins. He would then say that he was smarter and better than Peter, but Otto knew Peter was using all of his strength and that he was slowly coming back. He would be swinging to Parker Industries, and Peter would beg for him and tell him that he wanted to save her and that he needed his help, and if he didn't use his help, that Anna Maria would end up dying from the goblin. But he said no, and he said that the Superior Spider-Man works alone and that he'll be doing this alone. And he walks past by everybody in Parker Industries, not even like caring at all, and he would see the mindscape, the machine, and then he would hear Peter, and he would say, "You need my help, you need to defeat them with me." And he would be yelling, screaming, and Otto would hear this, and he would finally say, "No, I'm going to destroy you, and I'm going to destroy the mindscape." This was, this was completely crazy. Events change now, because now that he destroyed the mindscape, Peter is completely erased, because they never have that conversation in the Superior Spider-Man's mind where Peter is able to take back his body. That never happens because the mindscape gets destroyed and Peter was erased. He was gone for good. Superior still had some of his Doc Ock personality left, and in this universe it would fail him in the future. Peter wasn't able to get his body back because of this, and Ock was keeping the power in his mind, and Peter would cry, but he would be completely gone. He would then leave, and he would leave Parker Industries. Otto would feel overconfident because of defeating Peter, and he felt that, everything was going as planned, but he didn't know he was taking a really dark turn for the worst. 2099 Spider-Man would have not gotten any help from Spider-Man because Superior Spider-Man ended up leaving him, but he still was able to defeat the robots without using his help. 2099 Spider-Man would play a key role in our future events because he would fight Superior Spider-Man, and he knew this wasn't Peter. Otto could see the city falling apart, and the Avengers and the Goblins were all fighting each other, and he just overlooked the entire city, and he looked around saying, what would Peter have done if he was in this situation? And 2099 Spider-Man would lose in a battle against Otto in one-on-one combat because Otto was just too powerful for him. He would say, "Who are you?" and he would get knocked back to the ground, and he would explain that he wasn't Peter, and he would tell 2099 that he still needed his help. 2099 said he was only going to do this for his future, and then they would start swinging like the original timeline, and they would find a goblin like the original timeline, but Superior wouldn't make a cure for the goblin serum because he thought it was better if he would end up putting him away for life, killing him. He killed the goblin, and 2099 couldn't believe what he saw. 2099 and Superior would end up leaving, and they would still defeat Turbis Stone, and 2099 would take him out. It was just Superior Spider-Man and the Goblin. He knew that he had to be careful because the Goblin had explosives on the rooftop. He would jump in the air and attack Goblin, and he only had around 50 seconds to do this. He would kick him in the face so hard that he would be able to knock him out of the air with this glider, but he knew that the glider would end up blowing up a building, so he ended up having to use his webs to catch him back, and the Goblin would wake up in time, and then he would start choking Superior Spider-Man, saying that he should have stayed a villain and that the only real Spider-Man was able to defeat him, and that Otto wasn't able to defeat him because he was weak. Superior would scream out no, and Goblin would kick Superior back, and he was falling at this point, and he only had 20 seconds left. He rushed as fast as he could, and he tried to grab Anna Maria, and he did, but then there would be an explosion, and Superior would go flying back with her, and the Goblin would start laughing. He would be on the ground, and he would wake up to see a piece of clothes that Anna had. She was dead, caught in the explosion. The Goblin would take Superior, saying that he failed, and just like Peter, he would pay the ultimate price for his mistakes. He would take him by the neck and show the city and the Avengers fighting, the robots fighting, everybody fighting. He would show him the entire city. The Green Goblin would say he lost and that 2099 couldn't even save him. Goblin would throw him down and he would free fall on the ground. The Goblin won. He killed Superior. And because Otto's choices, he paid the ultimate price. And this would make events change, because now in our timeline, the Spider-Verse would be really different, because Superior Spider-Man, a key role, would now be eliminated from the events. And 2099 Spider-Man would have to fight the Green Goblin and try to restore order to the city with Mayor J. Jonah Jameson. But this is where Superior Spider-Man's story ends. You know, we would have 2099 fight the Goblin, and there would be a lot of stuff happening. This fan fiction pretty much wraps up what is going to happen. And I also feel like the Goblin, I thought it was cool that Anna died, because Superior, it would make him feel like it was more worse on his shoulders, and that he really did fail, and that he wasn't the Superior Spider-Man, but he ended up learning the hard way, not taking Peter's advice, and, you know, leaving Peter for dead, so he feels even more guilty about it. So when he gets caught in the explosion, he pretty much just dies, because he was getting choked by the Goblin, and that was about it. But anyways, that is my first comic book what if. As always, what is your thoughts in the comments down below, and do make sure to subscribe, like, share, turn notifications on, and shout out to Red Hood Justice YT for requesting this fan fiction. But anyways, as always, peace out.